Today, I will be identifying sensors from 4 different trucks. First, I'll be taking a look at this CAT C13. The fuel temperature sensor is located behind the fuel priming pump. The purpose of the fuel temp sensor is to tell the ECM to adjust the amount of fuel it injects, whether the fuel is warm and burning faster or is cold and burns slower. This sensor helps the truck adjust and burn more efficiently. The engine oil pressure sensor is located behind the fuel filter. Its purpose is to take a signal to the ECM and sometimes illuminate a dash light to let the driver know that the oil pressure has dropped below a preset critical level. The operation of a sensor is a movable diaphragm whose position is determined by the amount of pressure applied to it. Moving on to the MaxxForce 13. The manifold absolute sensor, or MAP, and the intake air temperature sensor, or IAT, is located on the intake pipes before the manifold and is a combined sensor on this truck. It also has 2 of them. The purpose of the IAT is a variable sensor that measures the temp of the air entering the intake manifold. When the air is cold, the resistance is higher and the signal goes back to be read by the ECM. The MAP is used to convert manifold pressure to an electrical signal so the ECM knows how much load the truck is under. The mass airflow sensor, or MAF, is used to find the mass flow rate of air entering the engine. The airflow is measured so the ECM can balance the fuel-to-air ratio during engine combustion. It's usually located on the pipes before the intake manifold. Next, we're looking at a CAT 3406E. Speed reference timing sensor sits on the side of the timing case and reads the camshaft. It uses an electromagnetic pickup that counts the teeth and sends signal to the ECM so it can modify any engine functions that need timing, such as fuel, intake, exhaust, etc. The coolant level sensor is located behind the coolant reservoir at the top of the engine. It uses a probe to detect whether there is coolant in the tank or not and tells the ECM. The ECM will likely illuminate a dash light telling you have low coolant. This will help you keep the truck from overheating due to lack of coolant. The atmospheric pressure sensor is located behind the power steering reservoir. This sensor uses barometric pressure and sends a signal to the ECM so it can be used in vehicle operation. Last, we have a couple sensors from this Cummins 6.7. The exhaust gas temperature sensor, or EGT, is located on top of the exhaust manifold. This sensor converts the temp to a voltage and sends it to the ECM. This helps the ECM to control engine conditions and effectively reduce emissions. The engine coolant temperature sensor is a probe that is located next to the thermostat. It measures the coolant temp to make sure the thermostat opens at a correct time by sending signals to the ECM.